Welcome to this week's episode, episode 2 of the Corde Snell show. I almost said a totally different show. Damn. Last week was the what do you call it? The preamble or the starter of the kick, the starter pack. Yes, this is the starter pack. Episode was last week. This is the episode where we're putting our deck of cards together and we're building that nice Yu-Gi-Oh deck. You know, you looking through the rule book. We call this the Rulebook edition. Was basically you going through and trying to figure out how we gonna get this podcast together. You know, that's how we're gonna do it. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh themes is gonna be the premise of this show. What's up, Jared? How you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. I'm excited. You know, we had a lot of a big warm reception, I think, to our first episode. So I am very excited to be here and hitting another one down.
Me too. I'm glad to hear it too. More interesting stuff has been happening in the news. Cat Williams interview. Last time I checked, it was sitting at 43 million views, which is like, goddamn. He has honestly the interview of the year so far, starting out with a banger. It reminds me of, like, every year is always like some new interview. It reminds me of the Soulja Boy interview that was on the Breakfast Club. Drake, we're talking about Drake. Did you guys see that? Hell yeah! And then with the Gucci headband, that one was hilarious because that podcast, or not podcast, that interview was an hour long, and it's very hard to watch interviews that are that long because your interview might be like 20-30 minutes, or if it's like on 60-minute one, it's broken down to 60 minutes, but it's like commercials in between, so it gets up to like maybe 40 minutes really. But then to watch it 2 hour and 46 minutes is basically just 3 hours. That's you know what? That's the same length of Infinity War. Thanos came through, kicked all of the Avengers' asses, and then I guess, hey, is Cat Williams Thanos? Is that who he is? He had to use all his Infinity Stones to come out here and kick everybody's ass with that shit, yo. That's what Cat Williams is. Cat Williams is the Thanos of the comedy world, yo.
You don't have Infinity Stones in this multiverse or any multiverse.
He didn't get into the multiverse yet, but hey, Cat Williams is Thanos. He could be Kang. He got he got other variants out there kicking people's asses and shit like that. This is dope as hell. But this week that happened, Jo Koy monologue. Jo Koy hosted not the Oscars. What did he host? Golden Globes. Okay, real quick. I'm not gonna lie. I don't pay attention to a lot of I'm not gonna say I don't pay attention. I don't know a lot of these white people award shows. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, because there is the Critics' Choice, there's the Golden Globes. I always thought the Golden Globes and the Oscars was the same damn thing. I didn't know they were different. There's the Grammys, but then there's like another. Actually, I used to think the Grammys and the Oscars were the same thing.
Basically.
Oh wait, no. So
Grammys are for music, though.
Grammys for music, I know specifically. But the Oscars, the Academy Awards, is that the same thing?
I think so.
Okay. I always weird because like the 10th annual, the 17th annual Academy Awards. I'm like, okay, when the Oscars coming? Also called the Oscars. That has always confused me. He hosted the People's Choice. Is that the award show that he hosted? Real quick.
He did the Golden Globe.
He did the Golden. Okay, see, there too many shit. Golden Globes, People's Choice, Academy Awards, Oscars, which might be the same two things. All right.
They are.
See, that is confusing. That is, and as a guy who doesn't watch a ton of these award shows, because since BET award shows ain't been the same, you know, I don't watch a lot of that kind of stuff. I did watch the Grammys because we always tune in to see which rappers got snubbed and didn't win Album of the Year or Best Song of the Year. Like I remember when Kanye, but that was at the VMAs, Video Music Awards, walked up there and he said, Taylor Swift, I give, you cool, but Beyonce had the best video of all time. I'm just saying. And honestly, the Single Ladies, 3 women in black and white video was a lot better choreographed, stuff like that, than Taylor Swift, who was, she wears short shorts, she wears, I'm in the picture, kind of. That did not compare at all. And it's funny because like Kanye went downhill from there and everyone's like, how dare he ruin this woman's moment? And ever since then, I think Taylor Swift saw that she can play victim and everyone will take her side. And going back to the monologue with Jo Koy, he started off fire. He started off pretty good, right? He mentioned that he said he only got the job 10 days ago, and then he was working with the writers and he was doing some kind of his own stuff. And I feel like he's probably going off the cuff a little bit, which is sometimes hard. Like if you go off the cuff, it's hard to come back to the jokes that were written and the stuff that you've written as well, because you're kind of like off tilt. You're like, well, which joke do I go back to? Which one kind of do I say? He said he watched Oppenheimer and he was like, I feel like it needs to be 1 hour longer. That made me laugh, because this Oppenheimer like 3 hours and some change or something like that. He was like, just not enough backstory. Not enough backstory. And it's always funny with those super long movies when it was like, there's a 4-hour version. And he'd be like, how did you sit up here and make a 4-hour version of a movie? But you're recording is like all the different editing and stuff like Zack Snyder does this a lot. Zack Snyder always puts out a 2.5, 3-hour movie. And then he's like, well, my director's cut is actually 4 hours, which is the better version. I'm like, if your movie has to be 4 hours, there's no way it can be better. Because at one point you just lose interest in the movie because it's just super long. Like if we was doing a 4-hour podcast, I don't know if I could talk for that long, but that at one point I would just be talking about like my nose hairs has been changed a lot. Like you just run out of ideas to talk about, run out of things to say. He mentioned the Barbie movie where he was like about the cellulite, and the joke kind of didn't land, but I also felt like he was kind of offending people, and I feel that threw him off his kilter, because before that he was like on par, he was going strong, he was hitting his stride, and I feel like the lack of a positive reaction from that kind of threw him off his stride. But then I remember after that he told the best joke of the night, where he said, Robert De Niro's here. He was like, how did you do it, man? Your last performance, it was great. It was amazing. How did you do it, man? How did you do that? How did you get her pregnant at 80? Like that. That fire. Because yeah, is 80-year-old still out here fucking? Because it was funny because Robert De Niro and Al Pacino both had kids like a year, like around the same time. And then I think Al Pacino's 81, 82, and Robert De Niro's 80. Like, yo, y'all still out here. Y'all still out here trying, huh? Y'all still out here spreading your seed, huh? You're still out here doing it. That is great. But then he started getting into some shows. I think it was Billions and stuff like that. He was like, just billionaires just pull out, just pull out.
Al Pacino's 83 and the lady who had his baby is 29.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole person between the two of them.
That is a whole grandparent between them. That is a whole grandparent. That is a lot of time, dude.
That's insane.
That's a lot of time. Okay, what's weirder? Is it weirder when like a 19-year-old dates a guy who's like in a wheelchair, has like the has the air in his nose, or is it weirder that Al Pacino was dating a 27-year-old?
I feel like I'm more accepting of the lady trying to get her bag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's right.
They both trying to get their bag. Which one?
I'm saying when the girl is a lot younger than the guy. I see what you're saying. I didn't realize I was basically talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
For some reason, if I look at it from her perspective, I'm like, yeah, she's just trying to Anna Nicole Smith this.
Yeah.
But when he does it, I was like, dude, just find somebody your own age.
No, I'm not saying that. No. Okay, what I'm saying is it weirder the 19-year-old who's dating the 80-year-old, right? Or the 27th-year-old? Like out of the two situations, like Anna Nicole Smith, you mentioned her dude. She was like, he could go for sex for hours, and we're just like, sure he can, right? Or the fact that the 27-year-old having Al Pacino's kid, because I feel like the 27-year-old, right? Like this is a relationship at this point. Like this ain't, like like it's more like, I just really like older guys. That's more of a thing than the 19-year-old. She's like young and dumb. She doesn't really understand. But the 27-year-old, now she's trying to be with him for the rest of his life, I guess. Like I don't know the two. I think that's what I was trying to get at.
I see what you're saying now. Okay, the difference between the two ages and where they're at.
Yeah.
In their
the woman at what the two like.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Dude, I don't know. It's still too much. Like, basically, because we're basically saying that in 50 years, you're gonna bang somebody who isn't gonna be here for like another 30 years.
Yeah,
that is insane to me. Just to quantify that, because literally that's like almost 50 years older than you. Yeah. So
that is
So in 30 years from now, the person that's gonna have your baby will be created. We're 30 years from their creation.
So I never think about stuff like that. That's always weird. Because that's always weird, because I always hate when a guy who dates younger, he was like, yo, when I was 10 or when I was 15, she was just born. And that's because it always makes it super weird. But I see what you're saying.
Not even a thought yet.
Not even a thought yet. Not even a thought. But then for me, I look at it like this. Like, so you said in 40 years, the person will be created or something like that. Or basically, I'm saying if I have a kid at 70 and I'm going to have no kids before, it was like my sperm's still working. It finally worked. Like, it finally worked. Like, imagine being 73 and you've had your first 3 kids. Like, I had one kid at 73. I had another kid at 74. And my next kid at 75. I don't know where my young swimmers was going in my 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, and 20s, but these 7-year-old sperm is still kicking. Like, I don't know why these are the OGs, these OG sperm out here kicking it. I don't know.
You're creating an orphan factory.
Yeah. I mean, they were the same woman. I'm trying to think. I ain't spreading my seed.
I guess. Well, let's hope. Okay, so she's still 30 in this.
But then, well, let's say I am here fucking multiple women at the age of 70. That's good for me. That's good for me.
It is. I'm just saying you're not going to be around to raise them.
True.
That's all I'm trying to get at.
True. Like what? Like what's your end goal? I'm trying to make it to their graduation.
Seriously. I hope you have a good time in college.
Exactly.
I won't be there.
I won't be there. All right. Fuck a lot of women. But wrap it up. All right. Wrap that thing up.
If you're 90 at their college graduation, that's got to be one of the worst of it. You die at your kid's college graduation. That sounds like it would be like a cool thing, but just how you're going to feel at 90 around all those people. Cause that setup is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's hot, nasty.
Yeah.
Kids are drunk. They're just, and then you just kick the bucket. Last thing you see is your kid get a piece of paper. You're done. That's a horrible way to go, I think.
I mean, yeah, because I just ruined her moment. Yeah. But then I say if I die at the night of his graduation because I was drinking with him, it's a hell of a way to go out. That's a hell of a way to go out. What did he do? How did he die? He took 4 shots. That's what took him over.
There was a light breeze that night.
It was a light breeze. He said he was a little tired, and we gave him a shot to wake him up. So, you know. Also, dying in the sack is also perfect. The perfect way to go is like dying from sex. That's a great. Your heart rate is too high and stuff like that. But back to the monologue. Back to Jo Koy. We kind of got off topic for a little bit. Back to Jo Koy hosting. What is it again? The
Golden Globes.
Golden Globes. I keep thinking People's Choice. I don't know why I keep thinking People's Choice. What's one of the 7 or 18 hosting things that's available right now before the Oscars finally happen? So he hosted the Golden Globes. He got the job 10 days before it. You know what this with seeing him struggle or people saying it's not that good. I don't like the fact that people are saying that he's not funny, because if you ever been to a Jo Koy show, if you've seen Jo Koy, that man is hilarious. That man is phenomenal. Also, super sweet dude. I met him, I think it was in 2018. I was in Santa Barbara at the time, and he was doing a casino out there. Some of the funniest jokes I've ever heard. And not only that, after I did the meet and greet, because I was supposed to bring a girl there, she didn't want to come, and the price for the meet and greet was the amount I was going to spend on her ticket. So I was like, fuck it, I'm doing a meet and greet. And it was just like me and like 15 other people. He seemed hella genuine. He wanted to take a photo. He was like, he took one photo. He was like, no, let's retake that. That's the one that's gonna get the clicks on the gram. That's the one that'll get the chicks. Like, oh, you know him? Yeah, just say yeah. And then I remember I told him I'm a comic too. He told me, "Hey, send me a tape, or send me a clip." And I had no clips, no tapes at the time. It was just like shit from open mics. And I was like, I am not about to send him an open mic audition or whatever hopefully to see Jo Koy and help him get a reaction. And it's funny because I think at the time, he only had like 130,000 followers, or maybe under 200. And it's funny, I was messaging the guy and he would get back to me. He asked me for my address, he asked me for my location, and he kept sending out merch for me to wear. None of it fit because I was big, but it was the fact that he kept sending it out. But I wore his JK, which is Jo Koy hat, I think honestly for 2 years, because it was so genuine that he sent it out. No charge. He didn't charge me for it. It was hella dope, and it was like a connection that I wish I could have kept, where something could have came out of it. But that will always stick in my heart, because I'm just like, dude, this dude is actually genuine. And he talks about it on podcasts when he started to sell out more, and because I feel like he always sold out like a show here or there, but then he's doing like huge arenas in, like, I think Hawaii. He sold out like, I think it was 35,000 seats, or start doing like theaters more on the regular, and ridiculous to see how big he is now, and then to see all of that come down to where he's hosting the Golden Globes and people saying that he's not funny. I'm like, you ain't following Jo Koy. You haven't been following that man. It's hilarious. It's one of the best. And what it shows to me is that even the greats can struggle hosting. You can struggle when you don't have enough time to prepare, when you have a lot of time to crunch. You wrote jokes and you have writers to write jokes, stuff like that. So it shows to me that this comedy game is hard, yo. This comedy game is super hard, and you can't take it for granted. And it's a huge time and a huge event because I can get why he took the job, because, all right, Jo Koy wants to do movies. Probably he should be doing movies. He sells out every fucking time now. He I remember one time, I forget how long ago it was, but I think he did 8 to 10 shows at the San Jose Improv. Sold them all out. He kept adding them. I think he had a weekend he posted. It was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those all sold out. So he added, I think, a second show, because you usually only do one show on Sunday. Probably added a second show. I think he added a third show to Saturday. I don't know if you could do a third show on Friday because, still work day. So he added Thursday and Wednesday shows. Those sold out. So then he had to do 2 more for Wednesday and Thursday. And then he added a Tuesday show. And then that sold out. And he was like, okay, we can't do no more.
It's a lot of shows.
A lot of shows. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It sounds like commercials. Sunday, that commercial. And he sold all that out. And I think this was like I want to say it was 2016, 2017. Because I believe because he's from Daly City. So he has a lot of Filipino support out there, a lot of Asian support. So they all came out, bought a ton of tickets, which is huge, which is dope. And he probably took the hosting gig at the Golden Globes to try to be in front of Hollywood people, to try to cross over, to try to be in the rooms of movie stars, which he was. And people attacked him and tried to say it wasn't funny. He had some lulls in it. I think the preparation time, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to fully go in and really look at some stuff. But then also people saying he's rude. He was attacking women. And I was like, yo, man, what? It was a comedian's job to roast people. Because I watched that. I watched this monologue twice. And then I watched Ricky Gervais last year. And he was going in on everybody. He was saying the Epstein thing. Epstein died, or he was like, Epstein didn't die or something like that. And people was like, oh, he was like, shut up. I know he was your friend. And the media got laughs. And it's funny because it's one of those things where Ricky Gervais has been going in on people for 5 years. He was like, he's like 5th time. He keeps mentioning it's my 5th time doing it. They don't care. And neither do I. And he just built up the persona of, I don't care. I don't want to be here. I'm going to go in on every single last one of you. And Jo Koy is very nice and he wants to be liked. So he didn't have that same persona, but he will roast you. The one thing I hated was the fact that he said something about Taylor Swift. He's like, Taylor Swift is here. He's like, and this will be the one time, he's like, unlike a Chiefs game, we won't always show her. And that was it. And shit, her face was like, oh, because I've heard this a lot of times. Taylor Swift is very fake. Taylor Swift always acts super surprised, oh my God, me? I won this award again. Oh my God, I just want to have, But it's funny because we mentioned John Mayer. Shout out to John Mayer. I kind of know who he is now. She writes all these breakup songs about her exes, about the people who she's dated in their life. That song Bad Blood is literally about, I think it's about Katy Perry or somebody else who she has a problem with. So she makes a hit song, a diss track, if you will, in the rap game, as they call it, a diss track, if you will, about somebody who she doesn't get along with, somebody who she doesn't like. But the way that she wins everybody over, instead of having people say oh my God, this is a beef about something, no, this is just a hypothetical. And she brings all the girls who was in the video with her to the premiere of the Grammys or something like that, or to these different places. So it's just oh look, not only is she a nice person, but she brought the 15 women in the video to this place, and so they can all have their stardom and all kind of stuff. And the whole time in the back of my mind, she's like, yeah, but this is about that bitch Katy Perry. I hate you. Ariana Grande, I hate you. Selena Gomez, I hate you. I think she had Selena Gomez in there, so I think they worked it out. But everybody else, she hate them. So it's funny how she plays these politics, because it is true. If you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, or if you're not 49ers, if you're a fan of football, you know that you've seen Taylor Swift a ton at all these damn games, and they keep showing her all the time. It's funny because her and Patrick Mahomes' wife did not get along when they first got there, because it was so funny to see. It was just like Patrick Mahomes' wife was like, I hate this girl. Like, they were never seen together. They was always super apart. Then as time kept going, all of a sudden now they're best of buds, playing high five, playing patty cake. And I'm like, oh, this is so fake. I hate this. But the NFL kept rocking with it. The NFL saw that they was getting like a new fan base, was rocking with it, kept showing her, Taylor Swift will be here. Oh, she's not going to be here at this game because she's on tour in Australia. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Who else significant other do y'all care about this much? Oh, real quick. There was one time where I wanted them to show this person's significant other more. They showed one clip of her. It was like, they showed her a few times, but it seemed like all of a sudden she moved later on. Ryan Reynolds' wife. Goddamn, she was
Blake Lively.
Blake Lively. That woman was wearing something. God damn. I mean, like, you know how shooters shoot? Ryan don't miss. When it comes to fine ass women, Ryan don't miss. He broke up with Scarlett Johansson and then got Blake Lively. God.
She's beautiful.
That woman is gorgeous. If you saw the top that she had on, it makes sense, because it was somehow NBC just focused on one particular area below her neck and above her belly button. And I was just like, yo, who is that thick ass white woman right there? Who is that? And why they keep showing Taylor Swift instead of her? And then next thing I know, that woman was moved. It was no longer in the camera. And I was mad because they kept showing Taylor Swift and she was nowhere near to be found. And then I saw her up next to a dude. I was like, who's that? And they said, Ryan Reynolds is here. And I was like, oh, and then with his wife, Blake Lively. And I was like, oh, damn, he got a fine ass wife. That woman gorgeous right there. That woman is nice. And that goes back to Travis Kelce, who had been dating a lot of sisters before. And a lot of sisters in the black community was upset that he started dating Taylor Swift, not because that he left a black woman for a white woman, which that's kind of part of the thing, but also Taylor Swift ain't that attractive. Let's be honest. I don't find Taylor Swift that attractive. I never did. I didn't. I remember I thought she was cute in her first video of the She Wears Short Shorts, I'm in the bleachers and all that kind of stuff. She looks like, I keep messing this song up. I mean, it was her first song, which came out in 2008. I know you laughing, Jared, but this is what happened. She looked very cute as a nerd. And then when she showed what she really looked like, and I was like, ooh, probably should just stay like it's the cute little nerd kind of a person. That's just me though. Jared, what is your thoughts on Taylor Swift? Do you find her hot? Do you find her attractive? Okay, do you find her hot? Do you find her like okay? And then she's cute. Like, what would you rank her?
So real quick, I'll do some exposition here. So the song you're talking about is "You Belong with Me." Came out in 2009.
Yep.
And yeah, I've never been particularly attracted to her. She's not ugly, but she's not anyone I would pass second glance at.
You know what makes her ugly? So this is what I hate sometimes. Okay, because I'm not saying that she's ugly, but usually no, because this is what happens, right? Usually if she's like not super fine, she's like okay, she's like cool, like she's kind of cute, right? But then when people start saying, "Oh my God, Taylor Swift is so fine," that's immediately where I jump on the no, she's not, she's fucking ugly, which is actually a lie. Which is actually a lie, because I don't believe she's fucking ugly, but I don't believe she's super fucking fine.
You just don't like the fakery.
I don't like the fakery. Like, oh my God, dude, she's sexy as fuck. Like, who we looking at? Taylor Swift. She got some work done or something? Like she got her boobs done, or like is it something like she got thick? Like, 'cause I love thick girls. Like I love that's my shit. Like, you know, but I'm like no, like she looked the same. Oh, okay. So the same one that we seen from You Belong to Me, you talking about that chick? Like, yeah. And it really becomes this over, you start to see her a lot. You start to, the overhyping of her, the successful of her music. Like, I mean, honest, like, I don't listen to a lot of her music. I always say Taylor Swift songs sound so much better when I don't know it's her music. Like Blank Spaces to me, that shit is a banger. Where you been? Like, yo, that shit hit. That got a trap beat. That song slaps. And then it's the other song that she's like shooting. It was like shot in Africa or some shit like that. That's another banger or some shit. I think it's like 2015 or something like that. But so I remember me and my roommate was slapping it. That's why, because we was slapping Migos, and then we was like, hey, this Blank Spaces shit kind of slapped though. It was like it do.
Wildest Dreams?
Wildest Dreams, yeah. It's like a cool, like romantic kind of a thing. It was shot in like Africa. People was like kind of upset. Like, why is this white woman going to Africa to shoot some shit? Like, you know, but that's like neither here nor there. And yeah, man, like we just talked about it. Blake Lively, gorgeous, sexy as shit, right? And you see Taylor Swift, and you're just like, I mean, she cool. I don't get it. But the sexiness of the fact that she's one of the top selling people ever, and like had one of the biggest stores and stuff, I get that. Let's not sit up and pretend like she's like one of the finest people out there. You know, because fine people usually aren't super talented. Megan Fox. Gorgeous. Is she a great actor? I watch a lot of Megan Fox too, and I hate some of her movies because she does this quiet whisper thing when she's talking to people. Where like she's like talking like this, like normally, and then all of a sudden she just starts to whisper in the mic, and then starts to talk like this, and then I'm watching a movie. I'm like, Megan, will you speak the fuck up? What are we doing right here? How is talking like this super sexy? I bet the sound people like, yo, turn that shit up. Like,
we're not killing people, we're killing boys.
We can't hear this bitch. We can't turn that shit up because she's about to start whispering. Watch. 3, 2, 1. Did I fucking tell you she was gonna start whispering? I told you. You owe me $5. I told you. You can't bet with me because I know this bitch be whisper talking. Why you whisper talking? Why?
I never noticed that. You're right though.
You never noticed that, dude? She does it so much. I think it's a way to appear sexy. You know, because all of a sudden if you start getting quiet, because if a chick starts to whisper in your ear, that kind of seems sexy, but she just does it like in random ass times. It just kind of, oh, well, we're just going to do this. Like, I remember I was watching New Girl. She was doing it. She was like in the hallway talking to all of them. They was having a conversation. And she's like, oh, well, I'm just going to do this real quick and then start talking like that. And then like, I forget the guy's actual name, but like Jake, like I think it's Jake something or whatever. He was in Spider-Man. But he was like, he kind of like looks or whatever. And then he's just like, oh, okay, what the fuck are we doing now? Why the fuck is she talking like this? Yeah, but okay, cool. So yeah. Yeah, we got
Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson, yeah. I was right. Jake Johnson, because I love him. Because he was and he was a great show. Shout out to New Girl. You guys have any shows that you people wouldn't think that you like but you love?
Oh, Supernatural. I'm kind of embarrassed. Yeah, my ex got me into it.
Okay.
And if you can get through the first season because it had no budget, and it's definitely like for girls. It's got two handsome co-hosts, but
gotcha.
It ends up being like a very fun show.
All right. So this is John Mayeroff again. What is Supernatural?
Yeah, Supernatural stars Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki and their brothers, whose dad hunts monsters, and their mom is killed by a demon. Okay. And the show starts when their dad shows up out of nowhere because like their mom dies when they're really young. Dad teaches them how to hunt monsters, and then for a couple years, the younger brother Sam goes to college. Dean, the older brother, shows up at his college, goes like, Dad went missing. We have to go find him. Okay. And then it becomes a 15-season run. Oh. But the first 5 seasons, most shows should only go 5 seasons. The first 5 seasons of that show are actually perfect from like a narrative arc. Okay. And then they realized they could keep going, and they made another 10 seasons that you know exactly what's going to happen, but it becomes like a telenovela where I'll just keep watching it. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, cool. You said a lot of white people's names who I don't know, so I'm just like, I'm gonna keep rolling with it. It's okay, cool. You know, help me with the show, help me with the podcast. Shout out to Kevin Hart.
You ever seen that guy? That's Jensen Ackles.
Oh, okay, all right, Jensen Ackles. Okay,
he played Soldier Boy in The Boys. If you ever watched The Boys, which is like the Avengers if the Avengers were evil.
I know exactly what that show is, but you said he plays Soldier Boy in The Boys, and I literally pictured Soldier Boy the rapper. I was like, this white ass dude played Soldier Boy. And I was like, what's he doing to crank that? Was it you?
Soldier Boy is their version of Captain America.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And then It's weird though because like, is it? I don't know if it's just the Avengers or is it like also DC as well. I feel like it's all the characters in one because
it's both.
Because like Highlander is Superman,
right?
And then the one chick who is like Wonder Woman. And then the black dude is like the Flash. Oh shit! They really is breaking down. And then Aquaman. Aquaman. Do you remember when he had he wanted to have the threesome with the octopus? Oh my god, that was so damn good. That was so damn funny.
I feel like as far as white blonde girls go, the girl who played Starfire or whatever, she was very cute.
Very cute.
Erin Moriarty. She's the best version of a Taylor Swift type girl to me.
Yes. 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 There we go. Yes, that is very accurate indeed. That is very accurate indeed. But with her, you be like, yo, she's super pretty, she's super cute. You would never say she's super fine and stuff like that because that's not the realm she's going for. She's like cute. Like they did try to sex her up and stuff like that. You're like, ugh, and it seemed weird. And she even talked about it's like it felt weird. But it's like, yeah, because she's always like the pretty girl in your neighborhood, right? Who like the girl next door they always talk about, right? Like her, that's the girl next door, not the super fine chick who seem like she's in movies and shit like that. Like that's not, or like the video vixen, right? That's not the girl. Like, but then you start saying, oh, this chick is hella fine. And I'm just like, bro, she's not hella fine. Like, she's hella fine, bro. What are you talking about? You crazy? Be like, nah, that bitch ugly. But that's just because you gotta go the opposite. You gotta go to the two parallels though.
Yeah, I think Rachel McAdams is beautiful, but like I wouldn't call her hot. She's just really beautiful.
Put that up again. Put Rachel McAdams. I want to see I know she is, but I'm trying to think of the movie she's in. Rachel McAdams.
You're thinking of somebody else?
Yeah, for a second I was thinking of the chick who I was thinking Amy Adams who played in is it Amy Adams? Who played in Batman vs Superman? She was Lois Lane. Yeah, that was right. Yeah, so Amy Adams, beautiful at times. Try to make her super sexy, stuff like that, but it's not always. Rachel Adams, go back to Rachel. You know who Rachel Adams kind of reminds me of sometimes? I don't know why this is. Did you ever see what's the movie? Damn it. $1 Million Baby.
Let me see.
$1 Million Baby. She kind of reminds me of her. Like her, yeah. Who was the chick who plays
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. So Rachel McAdams seems like the prettier younger sister to Hilary Swank, and Hilary Swank is like the more mature, angry one, you know. And then and then throw the chick in from 13 going on 30. Ben Affleck's ex. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jennifer Gardner. Yes. They feel like they are like all sisters. They're all sisters. Hilary Swank is the oldest one. Amy Adams, not Amy Adams.
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams is the baby one, and then what's her name?
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner is the middle child, is the middle kid who's like the cute gene, shit like that. Like yo, I think we onto something, yo. I think we onto something.
Brie Larson's her bitchy cousin.
Oh, Brie Larson. Oh, okay.
The Captain Marvel.
No, I know. Okay, so Brie Larson is never somebody who I felt is like super attractive.
No, I don't. I mean, like like you said, there's girls where they have their moments.
Yeah.
But I've seen her be so mean so many times that I'm like, I can't get that in my head.
And I think that's why. Like, I can't think of her attractive because I used to see her as mean and stuff like that. Oh, I saw in the movie Home. That shit made me cry, yo. That shit. I understood why she won the Oscar because that shit was a great fucking movie. Also, I feel like with Brie Larson, they still haven't figured out what they want to do with her when it comes to Captain Marvel. Like, he feel like they keep making her monotone, which I don't understand and I don't like. Because I feel like she's supposed to be the strong, she's supposed to be the fierce one. But I feel like she's becoming more like how Henry Cavill wasn't given nothing, or he wasn't given enough. And he just like wasn't talking, and they relied on like facial expressions to say like lines instead of actually giving them like good lines to act them out, which is like very weird to me. Like, did you see the movie The Marvels?
I didn't see that one. No.
Okay, so I saw the movie The Marvels. It wasn't that good, and I was disappointed because I didn't like the first Captain Marvel. And one of my homies talks about how it was one of the worst MCU movies. It's not true. It was okay, but it made $1 billion at the box office because it was the last movie leading up to Endgame, right? And I was shocked that it made $1 billion. I was like, what the fuck? This movie made $1 billion? And I watched it. It was okay, and then I was upset because I feel like they didn't give her enough to do, and in the movie, like a lot of the cast members around her gave more emotions to it. Like so in the movie, Captain Marvel loses her memory, becomes goes with the Marvels or something like that. Just gets trained, like basically like she was in the Air Force, gets abducted by aliens, or like the Kree is what they call them, right? She goes up there, she's like flying in space, she's like doing some shit out there, has all these power stuff like that, so they're holding down her power. She is Captain Marvel in the sense, right? While doing that, she comes back down to Earth. She had been gone for like, I think like 13 years or something like that. She comes back down to Earth and she has no memory of like all the friends she had, all the people she left behind and stuff like that. And her best friend, she's like, I don't know who this Captain Marvel is. To me, you're Carol Summers. Yeah, that's the woman who I've flown with, the person, like I don't know who this person is, right? And then her friend is giving all this emotion, like crying and stuff like that. And then you see like Brie Larson just staring at her. Like no like emotion back, no nothing. And then she like walks out and like kind of like throws a hissy fit. And I'm like, where the fuck is like, where's the emotion? Like you should be crying too, or just like I can't remember this. Like there should be more like you giving me this like kind of a thing, like I don't know what to give you. You know, it should be more like a back and forth, like an emotional thing, like you're resonating. Like I don't know who I am. I think I'm this, but you're telling me I'm this, and I see all these old pictures. Like I don't know who I am. I'm broken. Like I'm trying to figure out. I'm lost. Nope. Storms out. Hissy fit. It was super weird. I was like, what the fuck was that? So fast forward to the Marvels. I'm watching it, and it's Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. It's Monica Rambeau as which is like basically like in the comics was like the Black Captain Marvel, and then it's Miss Marvel played by, I forget the character's name, and it's like this team up movie. And I remember going into it, I was watching it, and I was like, I feel like this is kind of rushed. Because usually team up movies is usually like the third movie, right? Mm-hmm. You get the first movie, and like you got the enemy. The second movie, okay, now we established some of stuff like that, and now usually the third movie we bring in a bunch of people because also you have to fight like a big badass, right? And then they fought this one villain who wasn't great and kind of got killed off kind of quickly too, or like she wasn't. It's like, you know, Marvel like weak villain and stuff, and I was just like, there should have been another movie before this, because they were referencing other stuff that happened in between the time too, because the original Captain Marvel took place in the 90s, and then her second movie takes place in like modern day. So I feel like we needed a movie in between to catch it up. Like, what have you been doing post Endgame? She come down, she made a badass appearance in Endgame, comes down, fucking destroyed Thanos' ship. He's trying to hit her and shit like that. He headbutts her. She don't flinch. Captain Marvel don't flinch. That shit was a dope ass moment, like, right? But then like, okay, after that, what happened? Like you doing all this other kind of stuff, you still find like I still don't know you. Like we met you in one movie. You got this brief appearance in Endgame, and then now you teaming up with all these other people. And then if you watch a lot of the Marvel shows, you got to see that you meet the other two, Monica Rambeau and Miss Marvel. But it's still like you kind of needed something else to kind of flush out more to get to know them more in like the big movie scene. But yeah, that was something. I don't know how we got here.
I don't know, but I think it's hard going back because you mentioned Henry Cavill. I think it's so hard to play a character like Superman or Captain Marvel because they're so overpowered.
Yeah.
That like, yeah, I don't know. It just, to your point, it's so hard to like a character that's invincible.
Yeah. How
are you gonna do anything with them? And then also just Brie Larson, I don't know, I didn't like her performance in those. By then, okay, you show her again not flinching at Thanos.
Yeah.
Whatever bad guy she has to fight theoretically has to be stronger than Thanos if it's going to make her nervous.
Yeah.
So it just sets the bar too high, I think.
Well, so okay, so with that, okay, so Superman, right? People always hate Superman. They love Batman because Batman like is like super smart, can like defeat any enemy and shit like that. So I don't like Superman because it's, I always say like you're punching somebody who can't, like, he's super powerful, super like, you know. But I'm like, yes, I want a big dude who's like super powerful. I want that kind of stuff. And I feel like Brie Larson, I feel like Marvel and like MCU never made it where Brie Larson is the Superman level, or like that's super strong and shit like that. Like she can't be affected by this. She can't do all this kind of stuff. Like she's super, like Iron Man, super powerful. Got all the suits, got all the tech, blasting shit, doing some shit. Like you needed to make Captain Marvel that strong. I feel like you need to prop her up as like the new Iron Man, like strong as fuck. Like have her fight other strong as fuck people. Like accidentally just run into like an Incredible Hulk or some shit like that, and she kicks the Hulk ass. So then you start establishing how fucking powerful this chick is, and also at the same time you're empowering a female character and making her super strong. Like, damn, she beat Hulk's ass. Have her fight Thor. They get into an argument or some shit like that. He try to punch her, and she just fucking like, what the shit, like throws him. And then it's like little shit where you just say like, this is the new captain or this new person on the Avengers, and it's just showing how powerful this woman is and empowering a woman character. And now it's kind of like, okay, now let's see how she deals with that, but also deal with like how she abandoned people, because that was some of the theme, like why she never came back. And it was like this weird thing between her and Monica Rambeau, because Monica Rambeau was like the daughter of the woman she left. So like Lashana, whatever, the friend who said like, I don't know who this Captain Marvel is. So basically her daughter in the 90s grew up and now is this full ass adult. And it was like this weird friction between them because her mom died during the blip, right? So she came, they never like met again. And then, but like now Monica Rambeau has these powers, and it's just like, yeah, I have these powers, I could do this kind of shit. Like, girl, when we saw you last in like WandaVision, you didn't know what you was doing. You just kind of had some shit, like, but now you know how to use your exact same powers. Like, so it was all this like weird disconnects. But the reason why that movie didn't do well, because one, the writer strike, two, the actor strike. So they reshot a lot of stuff, but you can only reshoot stuff you already reshot. You can't rewrite stuff. So that movie was plagued by the writer strike, and that honestly should have been a third movie, not the second one. How much time we got left? How much time we're
at 41 minutes.
We got 20 minutes. I'm cooking. Okay, I'm cooking right now. So shout out to Jo Koy. Did the best you could on 10 days. Like, the best thing I did on 10 days rest or some shit like that, you know. I was supposed to recover longer. Super funny guy. Did the People's Choice, was it People's Choice? The Golden Globes. I don't know why I keep thinking People's Choice. Did the Golden Globes. It shows how hard hosting is. And when you don't have enough time to prep, it can affect you. Hopefully next time if you give Jo Koy like a solid month and a half, I bet you he rocked that shit. Shout out to Jo Koy. He is always funny. And I think he's coming to the Bay soon. I'm not sure.
Look it up.
I keep seeing him on I think he's in Reno or Lincoln. If you get Ticketmaster, everybody I feel like they should download Ticketmaster, but I feel like you'll always be alerted to when some of your favorite comedians are coming, the big ones like Jo Koy. Like he might be going to Lincoln or Reno. That's what they be like, oh, he's close. Like Ticketmaster's like, hey, buy tickets for your favorite comedian. He's close to you. And I'm like, where is he at? Reno. Or he's in Lincoln, which is, I heard is a city outside of Sacramento, which my mom says she wants to retire to because it's up there by like Thunder Valley and stuff like that. And it's just like it's a quiet, calm retirement area. And I was like, who the fuck want to live up there? She's like, I do. I was like, why? She's like, because the Bay is expensive, but then also it's like older. It's people like me up there. I'm like, oh, older folks. She's like, you calling me old? I was like, that you called yourself old. I didn't call you old at all. All right. Let's pivot to where what I did this past weekend. I was at the San Jose Improv. Shout out to the San Jose Improv. Love them to death. I was hosting for the amazing Marcello Hernandez. That man, he's on SNL right now. He's killing it. I was watching like a bunch of his stuff to talk to him about his stand up, and honestly, dude, he's preparing for his hour special, and I'm honestly, dude, that shit is gonna be fucking amazing, dude. Met him, also met Amir K, who's another super funny, hilarious comedian. Like it was one of those shows, like, yo, it's one of those big shows to be on. It's where the headliner is a national touring guy, but also on SNL, so he's a comedian on one of the best shows in the country, and he's still working like as a stand-up, like really working. Like he was doing 75 to 90 minutes. Like that's also, for those who don't know, 75 to 90 minutes, that's a long fucking time. We was talking about the Cat Williams interview being almost 3 hours. To go up on stage and do 75 minutes, that's an hour and 15. And you working stuff out, and also the premises are hidden, the jokes are funny. And then he's actually like cutting shit out, like trying to get straight to the point to make it even funnier. Like that takes a lot. And okay, Amir K brought him up saying, Amir K has been doing comedy for 15 years. He's like, I've been doing comedy for 15 years, and I haven't been around somebody this poised. And you know how some people like prop up people. He did not lie. Like Marcello is only 25, 26. Swear to God, he has the stage presence of a guy who's been doing comedy 20 years. Like, it was shocking to see. And his jokes, super fucking good, dude. I'm laughing about one because it's about, like, I don't want to give it away, but it's basically about, like, chicks who like a tall guy, and it's just like she's the way, like, chicks acting around like having a tall guy who can't do anything, and her homegirls are just like, "Don't worry, we'll help you out." And it's like so true because it's like some of this is like it's not the same stuff I do, but it's like you're talking about dating and stuff. You talk about premises, you talk about things relatable, and then he's like he's Latino, so he talks about like relating to different Latino shit. And then it was cool to hang out with those guys and hear them talk like next level shit. Like, it was funny to see, like, we was talking like social media and talking about the benefits of having less posts, which is something that I learned. Whereas like maybe you need a maximum of 20 to 60 posts on your Instagram page. And I was like, what? And then Amir's like, it was like, what? And he's like, yeah, dude, because it's you don't want to overexpose yourself, or it's just people just it's people because people see your page, and then I was getting like people go into your Instagram page and they see you have a ton of shit. And it's like, oh, this is like a lot. I don't want to look through all this kind of stuff, right? And then he was like, nah, just give them like a sample, a taste, like a Costco. Here's a sample of my profile. It's a sample of like me, kind of a thing. Like, or only having like your best stand-up clips on like your page, or your best clips or whatever. So I've been like trying to go through like my Instagram and trying to archive like a lot of stuff. And I'm just like, I looked at my thing was like 3,500 posts. And I was like, I get down from 3,500 to 25 or 60. And then I was talking to this girl, she's like in the marketing, and then she was talking about, she's like, yeah, get down to like 60. And I was like, well, when do I post? He was like, well, post one and then take something off. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? And she's like, and then you can just archive it. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, I do be going on people's pages. Like, I think of Michael Che from SNL. He has 1 to 3 posts up. But then Instagram will notify me, Michael Che hasn't posted in a while. He's posting for the first time. And I get that notification. I go there and I'm like, watch, what did he say? What did he? And then you look at that one post and it has like 1 million likes. And it's just like 3 thoughts that probably he could have put on Twitter. But nope, I'm going to put it on my Instagram page. And then I'm going to take it down after 3 weeks. And I feel like it's the detachment from social media, where every time he posts, or every time someone posts, or let's say every time you post, it's important. I'm only posting because I'm coming towards your area. I'm only posting because I'm trying to make you laugh. Like, here's all the other bangers, but hey, here's this new funny shit I'm working on. Like, oh shit, what is he gonna say next? Or instead of what is he gonna say next, when are they gonna post next? What are they gonna do? And the importance of social media, because it was incredible to see someone who is big on SNL, who's working on an hour special, also gave advice to his homie, to his friend who's in LA. And we're all still trying to become bigger, become more successful, just to have more things. But then we was all having a conversation. We was talking about how we just want to, we just want to be funny, just want to do stand up, and then also just want to hang out with our homies and have fun. Like, not burning bridges, not like trying to be like evil or anything like kind of that. Just be fun, be rewarding, reward the crowd and things like that. Like, that was like a constant thing. Like, I sat back and I was just like listening to stuff, but it was just a great weekend. Like, I appreciate the San Jose Improv, but I appreciate Marcello and Amir K for just letting me be around to soak up any knowledge and just kind of talk about stuff. Like the one thing I told them that they fucking blew their mind was that I'm an AP Spanish teacher, but I don't know Spanish. But I say that I don't know Spanish. I do know Spanish, but it's when it comes in a moment to say stuff or kind of do stuff, I realize I freeze. Like, I freeze in a moment. I can't think of anything. I can't say. And then there's like how you see how fast I'm going, like the cadence I'm going with stuff like that. They'll start speaking to me like that in Spanish, like un poquito, like, and I'm just like. So then I honestly feel like I turned to a dyslexic student. Like, I'm just like, okay, he said, how are you doing? But then also like, and then so I'm breaking it down in my head, and they're just looking at me like, you don't fucking know Spanish? Like, what the? And I'm kind of like, no, I do, but like, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Hold on. Mi nombre es Mr. Snell, like Professor Snell or something like that. It's real. It's funny. And then he's just like, yo, they was like, give me advice. They was like, yo, say that. Do that. This is what's unique about you. Black man, AP Spanish teacher, don't know Spanish. Go with that. Make jokes about that. And we just kept talking about that shit like the whole weekend. It was like, oh, yeah. It's like, and we'd be talking and like saying something. And then I was like, but you know, the biggest surprise of the weekend, the biggest fucking surprise is that you teach AP Spanish and you don't know shit. I was like, hey, yo, I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. Like, I am trying to work. It's like, nah. It was super funny. And they would just tell me, like, you being honest with me. It's like, yo, this is your niche. This is your lane. Just be your true self. This is true to you. And then the last set, we like joking back and forth because we was talking about Cat Williams and how funny it was. And like how we was doubting that he ran a 4.3 or 4.4, but then we saw him run the 4.4 or like online. And it was like, this motherfucker might run a 4.4. So we're just like shooting the shit with each other, right? And then it was like, hey, Corde, yo, just work that. I'm an AP Spanish teacher, but I don't know AP Spanish. I mean, I don't know Spanish into your jokes. Do that shit. And I was like, you want me to do it? It's like, yeah, I'm doing it. I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I walked out, and then I came back and I was like, I think I gotta grab something. It was like, you gonna do the joke? I said, hell yeah, I'm gonna do this shit, right? Hanging out with them, talking like stuff like that. I had my best set of the night on Saturday, the second show, 9:45 show. Best set of the night. They was like, yo, fucking killed it, dude. That was the best set, dude. Like, Amir K was like, the fuck I'm talking about. Marcello, he was like, yo, bro. Like, on the way to the stage, he's like, that was the best fucking set of the weekend, dude. That shit was fucking fire. And I set them up, and then shout out to Lily Michelle. That was another comedian from New York. She's staying in Santa Clara. She was on the show. She had a dope set. It was like just fire all night. Because we was just shooting the shit, got comfortable, and then like he was like, bro, bro, you did the leg kick. I was like, I did what? He said, did the leg kick? And I did it again. It's like, no, you did it like another way. I was so in the moment, I didn't know what I did. But I think I was talking about chicks with big foreheads and shit like that. That's like one of my favorite jokes. And then like I pointed them, I did like, it was like hella foreheads up. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I get excited. I kick my leg out. I'm like, fuck yeah. It's like, yeah. It's kind of like when I see like a thick white chick, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, yo, she got ass, yo. Like, dude, that shit nice. Like, oh shit, what's that? Who's that? That Ryan Gosling wife? Who's that? Like, oh shit. Was that Blake Lively? Oh shit. Oh damn, they showing Taylor Swift. Oh, let's go back to Blake. You know. But yeah, it was the best set of the night. I'm gonna get that tape from the San Jose Improv. So shout out to Marcello Hernandez. Shout out to Amir K. Two funny as fuck dudes. Marcello also sold out the shows too. Like he had four sold out shows, and Amir K was on it. And also shout out to Amir K. He'll be headlining the San Jose Improv February 7th. Go out to see him. I'm gonna pull up because he's the homie. Also, I just want to see him do an hour because I've been seeing him around on a bunch of different shit. And I'm just like, I want to see this motherfucker's funny as fuck. And then hanging out with him, cool as shit, and still funny as fuck, roasting each other and stuff. But yeah, dope ass weekend, man. I hope more to come. From there, let's keep going and just talking about more funny shit or just more stuff. Real quick, okay, Jared. So we talked about Jo Koy at first. We talked about importance of social media. But we talked about he's hosting the Golden Globes. Would you ever want to host the Golden Globes, the Oscars, the Grammys, or anything like that? Like, what would be what is hosting one of these things big for you?
Yeah, I mean, I do it a lot now at the level that I'm at, and I do enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I always tell people my comedic goal is to be the co-host of the Eric Andre show. Okay. That would kind of be, if I did like even just one episode, guest episode with Eric Andre, I would be like, okay, I'm done. I'm good. Okay. The thing I didn't like about the Golden Globes thing was I feel like that crowd is like doing a set in like Oakland, Berkeley, like just where everyone's got a very particular taste and you need to be exactly what they want. and you could be very funny, but you cannot have the right type of jokes. So
yeah,
I'm torn. I would want the exposure, but then also it's like I'd want to have a strong writing team that makes sure, because I don't think I write or find that type of humor.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, because I mean, why not? But I don't think I would have as much fun as if I was doing something like the Eric Andre show, or I did a spot on I Think You Should Leave or something like that.
So yeah, you don't. So hosting the Golden Globes or one of those type of shows don't come to mind as like a big lifelong dream. Like, it's always funny to hear people's like, oh, this is one of my dreams. I've always wanted to host this. And I'm like, I've watched a lot of award shows. I've never wanted to host it. That was never my thought process. Like, I remember doing video VMAs. Like, I never wanted to host it. Or no, the ESPYs. I would love to host the ESPYs because that's like a very sports element thing, which I haven't talked about on here, but I'm huge into sports. Warriors, Eagles, fucking A's, because they're not Oakland no more, they're Vegas. I might abandon that team. We'll talk about that at a later date. And then Cal Bears, go Cal, go Berkeley, yay! But y'all, yeah, we'll talk about that later. Like, I would love to host the ESPYs because the athletes I look up to, the people who are covering the games are there. Like, that's something that I would love to host, because like Drake hosted it and things like that. It's always in the summer. It's in LA, so it's hot, but people like dressing up, looking fancy and shit like that. So that would be an award show I would love to host, because it's an area that I wanted to really pursue and go professional in sports, but then also like be able to cover it or like maybe talk about it. Like, I love talking sports and being like one of those talk shows like with Stephen A or Skip or like a Shannon Sharp's podcast that like fucking launched and had Cat Williams in it. That would be one of the things that I want to host. But like these movies that I would never want to host it. Now, would I want to be in the room and my movie is up for something, up for an award? Yeah, that's something that I would love to be part of. Like, that's like winning an Oscar because I gave like some kind of stellar role, like where it was like super dramatic kind of a thing. Like that's where I've never, when it comes to those shows, I never want to be the one hosting. I want to be there because a movie I'm partying, a role that I got in through comedy and stuff that got me into acting is up for something. You know, like I watch a ton of movies all the time. I'm a huge movie buff, like most of the times. I can't remember most of these actors' names because they all kind of similarly look alike. But it's like, I love watching movies. I love watching emotional movies like The Boxer with Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg is one of the best movies I've ever seen, because it's like one of the best top 10 boxing movies, because it's he's not only fighting age, he's fighting against his family and his brother who's addicted to I'm not sure, it's like cocaine or crack. I think it's crack. I think it's crack, whatever. But then it's the fact that his mom always believed in his brother more than she believed in him. And then his mom never admitted or never thought that his brother was doing drugs. Like, like, Mom, where did you think he was going all those times he was like leaving? He's like, I got to go do something. He was like, no, he wasn't an addict. And then you can see how small he is, like going from like a big, like, I think he was like a middleweight or something like that boxer down to like featherweight as a, you know, like just skinny, you know, crackhead skinny, you know, it just doesn't look right. And you know, you wanted to go to you wanted to go and do one of those kind of movies. Yeah, so that was always something I thought about. I was like, I would never wanted to host one of these shows, or that was never one of my dreams. My dreams was always seeing the movies, being in the movies, being part of the movies, and being nominated for my acting role in the movie. If we're being truthful, because I would love to do comedies. I would love to be like a dramatic actor. Like I always wanted to be one of those people who they lost a ton of weight for this role. Like, I would love to do the Star-Lord come up, like, because I'm like, I'm 300 pounds now, but I don't look it because I'm like, you know, big. But then until you see like the cameras and shit like that, and ass weight to my face, whatever. But to go from like being 300 down to like 220 and got like the six pack because you've been working out a fuck ton, like you're like, yo, Corde got ripped for this. Like, hell yeah, I got ripped, you know? Or like, I want to be in what's the Michael B. Jordan movie? What's the Creed. I want to be in Creed 5. I saw Jonathan Majors. Sorry what happened to him, but I want to be like the next villain. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna picture real quick. You know who I want to be if they do this? I want to be Mr. T's son, who comes back to inflict pain and just like, what do you want? Pain. And it ain't going down like last time. I ain't losing. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to kick your ass again. You ain't winning this time. I'm sorry about your dad, but my dad lost too. Well, we going to win this thing. Because pain's coming. And then win an Oscar for that. Hell yeah. And that's been this week's episode of the Corde Snell podcast. Thanks for everybody for coming. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Also, real quick, if you're watching this episode right now, please like and subscribe to it. Comment in the comment section of what you thought about either Jo Koy. If you know Marcello Hernandez, go see him. If you know Amir K, go see him. Come to my shows. I'm mostly in the Bay Area, and I'll be dropping the links to where my shows are as well. And if you like this episode and you want to share with your friends, please share it with them. Please let them know that I'm doing a podcast. Please let them know that, oh, I'm terrible and Taylor Swift is sexy as hell. Please let me know if you think Taylor Swift is sexy. Or here's a challenge. Let me know of a chick who you find is cute to pretty, but then people say they're fine as fuck, and it makes you go in the opposite direction, all right? Like, mine is Taylor Swift, all right? Or Maggie Gyllenhaal. That woman is... No, we're not going to talk about that, okay? Let me know your opinions on women who people say are fine, but they're really, like, cute, but they're just trying to make them seem like they're the best thing ever, but they not, you know, and then you go the opposite way and you sound like a hater, but you're not. You just being realistic, and they made you go, they went that way, so you went this way, you know, just like how in Rush Hour 2, I go that way and you go this way, but like, yeah, exactly. And this has been the Corde Snell podcast. On this Corde Snell show, aka my podcast. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Angel, for being here. You know, I know it's Noah. I'm just fucking with you, man. Well, that's hell yeah, that's an inside joke. And we're out.